Welcome to this video on the work of management, and this information comes from Chapter 1. And I'm going to focus on learning and using the skills needed to be an excellent business manager. If you're my typical student, you either are or you expect to become a manager. This course trains you to use measurement skills that managers use. You can use this course to learn how to think and act like a manager. The work of management concerns three areas. There's the area of planning, there's the area of controlling, and there's the area of decision making. Now, managers plan, control, and make decisions while they deal with people, and that really has to do with leadership, and paperwork, and that is more administrative. This course focuses on the paperwork. Typical things that managers do in planning is they establish goals, they specify how those goals will be achieved, and they develop budgets. Now, these budgets can be financial, but they can also be budgets of time. You've planned your work in the planning function. This is where you work your plan and you're gathering feedback as you come along. And the feedback in a regular corporation would be in the form of performance reports that are actually supplied by the managerial accountants. And then decision making. Well, these are typical things that managers are going to decide, and that is, what should we be selling? Because there's going to be competing products that we could sell. Who should we be serving? How should we execute those sales? How should we produce the products? There's going to be all kinds of decisions that are made by the different managers in the operating area of the company. I've sort of set up a project timeline. This is where you'll have a chance to think and act like a manager. And this assumes you have a homework assignment right here, and this is your project timeline to get that homework done. This is the date that the homework will be introduced. This is the due date for the homework assignment. Now, in this area right here, the project planning area, this is where you plan your work. And in here, this area right here is where you work your plan. And while working your plan, you'll be gathering some feedback on how you're doing with that assignment. And then over here, once the assignment is done, you have time to make some decision making. Unfortunately, a lot of my students are going to not really make any plans. They're going to start over in the decision making area right over here. And so they really don't have any time to gather any feedback, and they're totally stressed out, and they think this course is way too hard because they just didn't plan to begin with, and they didn't allow any time to gather any feedback. And so don't be one of those students. These are my weekender students right here, and I suspect very often they do plan, and the time they have to do these assignments in this course are during the weekend. And so they don't have quite as much time to gather the feedback and actually do the assignments. But if they get the homework in before the end, they also have some time to make decisions about that homework assignment and how they're going to do future homework assignments. Now, here is where my A students are. They've set this thing up so when they start their assignments, it's right when the assignments become available. They maximize the time in which they can gather feedback. If they run into trouble, they have time to ask me. They have time to do some research. If for some reason there are technical problems and they can't get the assignment, they can do it another day. So there's plenty of time for this kind of feedback. And if they get the homework in before the last day, they can also make decisions about how they're going to proceed next. Most of you are going to be managers. Some of you are going to be accounting majors, though. And I think it's very important that you see this right here. Employers expect accounting majors to have strong financial accounting skills, but they also expect application of the planning, controlling, and decision-making skills. And that's very important because the managerial accountants are going to be providing information to the managers. They're helping the managers plan, control, and make decisions about their work, even though they may not be directly responsible for those decisions. Okay, so the primary purpose of this course is to teach measurement skills that managers use to support planning, controlling, and decision making. So you can see the focus in this course is on managers. Now, for your own benefit though, treat this course as if you are a manager and plan, control, and make decisions about those assignments that you're going to be receiving. Imagine that you are a manager as you read chapter 1 and the other chapters in the course. I want you to talk the talk and walk the walk as if you were a manager right now. You can visualize the application of these concepts and calculations, and you will think and act like a manager if you let yourself do it.